Good morning, YouTube. In this episode, we are paddle sanding, blah. And then we're gonna start cutting out stringers. That'll be pretty good. The paddle sanding. Oh, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do. Anyway, let's get busy. Stick with me. Welcome to my life. It's paddle sand day. Gotta clean up those walls. I've been dreading this. I'll be honest with you guys. I've been so focused on that building. It's hard to get over to the old Grady, but I know I need to. So I'm gonna take some time this morning and paddle sand the walls down and everything out of there so it's nice and clean. We did a great job of demoing last episode. So we'll get that done and then hopefully then start cutting some wood. But anyway, I'll do the paddle sand and I'll do a real good cleanup, get as much of that fiberglass crap out of there as I can, and then we'll start cutting the wood. I need to clean out the forward stringers that go in, so I'll clean those pockets out so we can put some fresh wood up in there, and then we'll put the face board across the rest. On the front of the midsection, the side stringer will get cut. The back stringer for the corner I already have cut, I just got to fit it. And then we'll cut the other big main stringer. And a lot of suggestions. One of the things that I would like comments on is one of the viewers that has rebuilt boats in the past and might do that for a living, I'm not sure, but suggested putting the water tank in the center. Now I assumed Grady did the math on that already, and that off way, you know, that the water there on that side balanced something on the other side. Now I don't know what that would be. Maybe the toilet. Not 100% sure. But he said lots of times when they were rebuilding them, they put the water tank in that center compartment, which would be lots of room there to do that. Just have to make longer lines, but I'm replacing the lines anyway, so no big deal there. So yeah, tell me what you guys think about that, if you think that's a good plan, or if you think that would, then the boat would be offset because you got the tank in the middle and that way it was already accounted for. I don't know. I don't know what to think of that. It's not that big of a tank. Not sure that it makes that big a difference, but if you can center the weight, seems to make sense to me. But I don't know that that's not already accounted for. So tell me what you think of that anyway. And let me get in here and get busy on this tank. All right, so the first thing I want to do is get under there with my handy dandy curtain rod that I stole from my wife and clean out those two front stringers, get all the wood out of there. And then we'll paddle sand. And then I'll get it all cleaned out, wash her down real good. And then I'll go take a shower and yeah, that'll probably be it for right this second. But then for you, then I'll come back and start cutting wood. It'll be right away for you. Or for me, I'll have to go. The neighbor needs their field mowed. I guess they're gonna stake out their house that they're gonna build. And so I told them I'd come over and brush hog that down for them. So I'm gonna go do that. And then hopefully by then this will all be dried up and I can, cause I wanna do a real good clean. I'm not gonna take everything out of here and try to wash all the decks down, because everything is covered in fiberglass in here. Everything is. So I'd like to get a good wash down and then yeah, you know, just do a good cleaning. And then because from there on out I'm going to start rebuild. So yeah, once I do this paddle sanding, that should be the end of the dusty itchiness. Of course I'm still working with fiberglass and yada yada yada, but you know, it's that cutting fiberglass that just gets me, you know, that turns to dust. But we'll get this straightened up and we'll get on it and move on. Now I've done enough procrastinating. Let me get on here and get to work. Okay. So we got the holes cleaned out, that's good. Now it's just a matter of paddle sanding this off. I already cleaned this one, so it's really just this wall, that wall, and the floor here. And then we'll get a good clean on, I think. All right, let me get busy. I've been dreading this, I ain't gonna lie to you. Alright, so I got the majority off. I don't want to go too much, but it's so thin. So I'm going to leave it just like that. I'm not going to go... I know a lot of people wouldn't like that wood being on there. There's just a little thin sheet of... But it's going to get so thin, I'm going to burn through it if I'm not careful. So, I'm going to leave it like that. And then clean this mess up. And then start getting ready to put fiberglass on. I'll start cutting pieces anyway. Alright, I'm gonna get busy cleaning up. Alright, so I'm doing a real good cleanup. Now, because that should be the last of the grinding. My vacuum cleaner has just been nasty. I haven't even been able to use it in my cars because it's just every time you stick it in there, you see the fiberglass come off of it. So I did a good job on that. I beat the crap out of the filter, got that all cleaned up, washed everything down, the hose, washed my extension cords, cleaned my cameras, cleaned my safety, my PPE, and probably start emptying everything out of the boat. And then I'll, you know, the whole bow is just covered in fiberglass dust, you know, and I need to wash all that down and the floors down and all that stuff, and then just wash it all out. And it, you know, it's not going to be perfect, but I think it'll save me some itchiness as I go, because really from here on out it's just installing. And even though when you're installing the resin and stuff it's itchy, the majority of my itch is coming off that floor, you know, or you know, getting on my arms or breathing or whatever. So we'll get this cleaned up and then and go from there. So I'm not going to bore you with that, a lot of it. I'm just going to clean up. And then I got to brush hog the neighbor's land because they're coming down to plan their house out this weekend. So I want to get that cut up for them so it's nice, so they can see their stakes and they're not getting covered in bugs. And they can kind of see the land a little better that way too. So I'll do that, and then I'll come back and I'll start cutting wood for putting in. We'll get it cut in, and then it'll be time for fiberglass again. So I probably should check my resin stock and make sure I know I have a couple gallons, but I need to make sure I have enough to work my way out. And then probably see if I have enough wood to do it all. I think I do. Yikes. But yeah, so good stage to be in. It's good to have all the grinding done. I mean, it's just, I'm so tired of that. And I know you guys are tired of watching it, but that's what it takes. I mean, you're going to be doing it. If you go redo a boat, you're going to spend a lot of time in that dusty, nasty, itchy environment. Now, your boat may be smaller and not have a cap, or it may have a cap and you're going to pull the cap, but you're still going to be in that dusty environment. People keep asking me about that. So somebody said that the other day, I bet you wish you would have pulled the cap. I don't. I really don't. I think this has worked out pretty decent. Could you do better? Sure. Is the boat worth better? I don't know. But we're really, in my mind, restoring this boat to a great degree. And pulling that cap would have just been miserable for me. Now, maybe once I have a shop and stuff, could I think about putting a hoist in there and pulling caps? Yeah. But talking to, you know, I went back and forth on it, but talking to the guys that actually have done a Grady White Trophy 25, they say, do not do it. You got to cut the hole open and then basically unsever the fiberglass cabin from the floor. And they said, it's just a nightmare. You don't want to do it. So I've heeded that advice, and every time I think about it and I look at it, I'm like, there's no way I could have done that. So I'm satisfied with the way I've done it. I think it's going to last a long time. There's some concerns about tabbing this from fiberwood to the fiberglass on the sides. I probably will still tab it. I probably want to do something with this top. You know, I put that real thin layer of fiberglass on here, and there's a couple hairlines in the gel coat that are showing. You know, I only put that there to keep the water from going down in there, because they didn't have anything but a piece of aluminum, if you remember right, going across there on this seam. And so I kind of folded the fiberglass around and worked it down, and then covered it with some putty. I think that the fairing is what's cracking. I don't think it's the actual fiberglass underneath, but I may want to work on that some more too, now that I've got a lot more experience. I'm definitely going to sand this back down and then put a new coat of gel coat on there once I finish this out. So, or you know, just to get some of these ripples up. You won't see any of this because the engines are mounted right there, so you won't see any of it. I just know it's there, right? I think once the engine's on there, nobody will ever know. She is due for a good scrubbing. You can see she's starting to turn, got a little black coming back on her. We still have a lot of work to do. I got to work on the trailer and all that, but today is cleanup day. I don't know why I'm rambling. Let me get to work. All right, I keep forgetting to measure this drain, so since I'm here, so I guess it's a 1-inch drain with a lip around it, and I need that at an angle underneath to change that to an elbow. So I need to remember to do that. Yeah. All right, YouTube, so it's looking good. I got her all washed down. It's a lot better. There was a coat, I mean, all the way to the front of the boat, there was a coat of stuff everywhere. So we got her all cleaned down. You know, there's still some trash back there I'll have to get, but really rinsed it down good. Took that coat of fiberglass dust off this thing. And yeah, so it should be a lot more pleasant to work in here. It's gonna take a while for this to dry. I'm gonna let my fan dry because I actually washed it off too. It was so nasty. So I'll let that dry. I'll get it going, get this place dried out, and then I'll start cutting wood. In the meantime, I got to go brush hog the neighbor's property, and then I think we're working on the playground boat a little bit this morning too, so I'll go over and give a hand doing that, and then I'll get back at this. All right, see you in a bit. All right, so I already had this pre-cut just for the back. I just needed to chop a piece off and make one piece a little less steep. So that's good. We'll try that out when we go in there. And then I got the template from the other side for the front piece. We'll take that in there and we'll make it fit for this piece, and we'll go from there. All right, so the piece I have fits in there just fine. It'll need to be smashed, but I don't want to smash it in there until it's time because it probably won't come back out. So that's going to fit just fine. And now we'll have to fit the template to that wall over there, get that all ready so we can cut that out. We'll have to cut the stringers that we're putting in these two holes, and we'll cut the back stringer that goes there. And then I'll go ahead and cut this one so it's ready to go, and I'll mirror this one over here to go here. And that should be it. It's all pretty self-explanatory, pretty much like the other side, but hopefully I can do a better job fiberglassing this time. I do plan to pre-fiberglass the board. Several people have suggested that. I think that's a great idea. Didn't think about it on the side. I think what it was, I wanted to tab to the wood, and that was important to me. But now that I've seen this process, I think it's probably better off if I just pre-fiberglass them and then bring them in that way. So that's what we're going to do. You know, is that the best way? I don't know, but it's the way that probably works best for the situation I'm in. I guess that's a good way to say it. So that's what we're going to run with. So let's get this thing up on this wall and see if we can't get it to fit. All right, so it's obviously going to need to be cut in the angle. Be a little different. We'll see what we got here. Looks like it'll go to there. Let's see, that's not really up all the way though. So right there somewhere. Get that up there. if we can't tape that in there. Bring the tape in here. Yes. Alright. That is not staying up the top though. I think I want it to. So we need to trim that a little more. There, I guess. Alright, I think we got her. This will work. We'll just put that pipe on here, and 3/4 of it or something. We'll put it on here and then draw that out so it's rounded, but looks like it'll fit pretty good there. Of course, it'll sit a little higher, but everything seems to be going in fine. So there's our piece. We'll just cut this out, and then we'll trace this out on the board and cut her out. So that'll be good. Alright, let's get to work on that. Be nice. I don't have to crawl up in here before anymore. No, I said that before. Man, it's tight. Ooh. There is a little more headroom on this side than this side. Ah. Ah. All right, let's get this up here. Yeah. This is our pipe. That's way different than that hole. Is. We'll have to really fiberglass that, I guess. But it's going to need about that much room there. Make it a little bigger. All right. Too long. Not much though. But it's gonna be too long. All right. I'm gonna figure out how much longer it's gonna, how short it's gonna be. A little tight here, for sure. But that's gotta go up some still. So if it went in there and up, looks like we're good down here, close. That's fine. Looks like. I don't know. Trying to do. What are we doing now? Getting on that for sure, which is fine, but I can't quite get it out of there still. There, it's still tight up there. I mean, tight's okay, but it's got to fit. I'll never get that if I push it in there. What's holding you? Just that right there, that little ridge. Okay. All right, just hope I can get it back out. She's in there. All right. So we'll have to prop her up just a little bit from the floor to make her tight. But it looks good. All right. I don't know how I'm gonna get it out of her because I gotta get past that again. But in the meantime, it's fine. It's fine. Oop. All right, good. There you go. That's how I'm gonna get it out of her. That's nice and tight. All right. So we got that piece done. Now just measure this, knock off 3/4 off each side, and that'll make that piece. So let's do that. The smart man would have already brought his tape measure in here to measure this off, but I've got to get it out and get the tape measure. It's going to be 62 though, because that's what that side was. And I'm betting that this side is the same. I'm hoping it is. It's 62. I wish I had kept the made templates for all these, but I didn't. Should have. Of course, that side's a little different. But it won't be hard to make. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Yeah, except for that corner. That corner does a little whoop. So, we'll figure it out. Let's go get a tape measure. This stringer cut. Let's get her in there and see how she fits. I tried curving the end, but I tried curving the end on it. We'll see if I curved it enough. Didn't want to go too crazy, but that corner is pretty aggressive for some reason. And hopefully we have enough pieces out of that wood that's left over to make this stringer that goes here. That's a big one though. Not sure how tall that is, but if it's less than 27, might as well just know now. If it's less than 27, we're in there, and if it's more, it's... Oh, you know what? Well, it's more. It's 29. I think 27 is what I got left on that board. So that means I'm cutting into a fresh piece. Poop. Oh well, it is what it is. Let's see if this one fits. Maybe we'll get some good news real quick. Oh, well, poop. It wasn't the best. It wasn't the best. That actually goes up. I didn't realize that went up, but I think it's gonna be fine. I mean, I still need to cut more. Yeah, so I didn't leave this forward back up, but it's not going to now. And the tip is still got to really be cut off. So I'll measure that out kind of and push it up in there and see what I got left. It is, I got a little room at the top still to be pushed up, but not bad, not bad. Yeah, let's see if I can't measure that off and get that thing figured out real quick. And then we'll cut it and it'll be good. And of course I didn't bring a pen, so I'm back out of the boat. Awesome. Hey, why didn't you guys tell me I had a pen in my hat? Old age. right there. We'll get it, I think. Let's measure these while we're here. We can get them cut out too. All right, well, let me get this out of here. Cut this corner, and then this one should be good to go. And we'll cut those for 20 by 3.5, and we'll cut those. All right, let me get this cut out, and we'll go from there. Hey YouTube, hey, I'm in the middle of editing this video, and Mitch, one of our viewers, sent me pictures of his Stingray that he is rebuilding. He had some soft covers, went to replace those, and then one thing led to another. He kept digging in. Ended up with everything out of the boat, the floor, everything. Ended up redoing the stringers, and I think that's what it looks like he has some transom, lots of rot, lots of work, and he's still working on it. That's what I know. So enjoy these pictures of Mitch's Stingray. Mitch, keep us updated, please. They're going to be tight like the other side. Oh no, they're too long. Shoot. That's why you test them, I guess. Dang. Oh no, it's going. You must just hit something. I don't know. That's my last time though, when it hit something and I couldn't get them in. There's some. Alright. So they're going to go. They're going to be tight. Yeah. All right. All right. Resin, de-resin. Resin all these things up. Pre-resin them. I may resin these and slide them in right now. Jackhammer them in so they're in there. Those can dry so I can thicken resin around them so we can get going on this board. So yeah, I'll probably do that right now. I'll probably resin these up and then hammer them in and then go from there. pre-resin those other boards. That'll probably be it for today. Whew. Yep, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna resin these up, put them in, and the small ones too. So that can work. So let me get a hammer, and then we'll resin them and slam them in there like we did last time. And yeah, should be pretty easy. I mean, they wasn't tough last time. And then we'll pre-resin all these boards. We'll put them on the sawhorse or the grass or something, and pre-resin one side, wait for it to dry, flip it over, pre-resin the other side and the edges. That way they're pre-done for us to put them in there. Then we'll coop them up and get them in. All right, so let me get a hammer. Got the resin out here already. Probably should clean up all that stuff over there. So I'll clean up, get the hammer, mix up some resin, resin these ones up and the little ones up, hammer those in, and then pre-resin all these. Sounds like a good plan to me. All right, so it's been a long afternoon already. I think we're working pretty fast, but we have all our boards made except for the one stringer, which we'll make later. Right now I got these stringers. They're the 20-inch stringers that go in the front that I had to beat in with a hammer last time. You guys remember that? This thing is called stringer blender. So we'll be repeating that, except for I made them just a little bit shorter so they can clear that the humps underneath, because there's big humps, fiberglass humps underneath that they rest on, which is great. So I'll do that. I made them a little shorter so they should shoot right in easy. And then I'll take the rest of the resin and maybe make some more up depending on where we're at, and I'll go resin all the boards we just cut. So they'll be pre-resined on one side for now. And then those will have to dry a little bit. We'll flip them and do the other side eventually. So that's the plan. I'm about to put this respirator on, and we'll get busy. Okay, here we go. The fire hose. Go. Oh yeah, that's way better. Way better than last time. Oh, not so fortunate this time. Oh, come on. Got all over this handle. Come on, man. Woo! Man. Come on, baby. Get in there. Almost there. Others are falling off. Oh, man. I don't have the strength I used to. Almost there. Oh, come on. Almost there. Come on. Woo. Almost. Just a little bit further. Woo. All right. Whew. All right, that was way better than last time, even though I did have a slight poop pile there. But let's get this laminate on those boards before it dries. How you doing there, laminate? Resin. Put the rest of this in here. And I can make some more here in a second. So get the stuff and bring it out here, make some, whatever. Oh. Try not to fall off the ladder. Whew. All right. Not a bad day. So we have the stringers all, or the front wall, midsection wall at half, and then a stringer, and then the back section half done. We got the little stringers, the 20-inch stringers cut, and we got them in. And of course, learning from last time, we cut them just a little bit shorter because we know that there's fiberglass on the bottom now that we don't want to beat through, because we want to keep them lifted. So we did that. We got those in. So now I just gotta wait for this stuff to kind of dry up, and then I'm gonna set it inside here, so because it's supposed to rain tonight, and just let it stay tacky. And then I've got to get to the store to get some more supplies, so I'll probably do that today too after I take a shower. But I think that's gonna wrap it up. So yeah, we had a pretty good day, right? So we got the walls all sanded down to where I could. Now there's a little wood left on some of that at the tops, because you remember on the other side I left the wood there. But that fiberglass is so thin up there, and getting to the other side of it would be almost impossible. So I will work with what I have and do that. Hey, that brings me to a point. I've been very honest about what I've been doing and when I screw up and when I don't. If you want to tell me about it, that's cool. If you cuss, though, I will cut your comments. And I know people are like, well, you cut my comments because I was talking about it. Now, you can talk about my bad fiberglass all you want to. Just don't cuss, because my #1 fan, Baby Hewitt, he watches. I mean, he's young kids, and we want to keep the show family as possible, you know. Again, if you are brand new to the channel, I ask that you go back and watch the stuff that I do. I take responsibility for every bad step I make. But I've learned a lot. I mean, obviously, this side is going so much faster because I learned so much from the other side. And from tips from people like you, it only makes me better. And I do implement the tips if I think they're value added, right? So yeah, just keep that in mind. If you cuss, I will cut your comments. This is a family show. So other than that, it's been a great week. Hopefully you enjoy this. I'm knee deep in the building, so you know, I just took the day. Actually, it took 2 days to do this, and try to get a boat video out for you. So I don't know if it's gonna be short or long or what. It probably is gonna be short, but we got a lot done in these last 2 episodes. I mean, you know, compared to getting the other side started, right? So yeah, that's where we're at. I appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Check Patriot Marine Fabricating out if you get a chance. And yeah, see you next week.